going through our 5th holiday season without Kelsey and her baby. And I can't tell you what torture that is. It's been a rough week. It's a lot packed into a short period of time.
I was just desperate for something to try and help keep her name alive.
I can't even imagine how, difficult the trial is going to be.
Those are the pained words of a woman who has been through a lot in the last 7 years. Her name is Laura Saxton, and there are 2 things that she wants. 1, to find her missing daughter, Kelsey, and 2, justice for the man she believes is responsible for her daughter's murder. The story begins in 2010 on the campus of Northeastern Junior College in Sterling, Colorado. 19-year-old Kelsey Schelling is a freshman who meets and starts dating the star of the basketball team, 6'7" Dante Lucas. Kelsey ultimately leaves school and starts working in Denver, but her relationship with Dante continues. Then, in early 2013, a huge development. On February 4th, Kelsey has an ultrasound at a prenatal appointment, confirming that she is 8 weeks pregnant. Dante is the father. That night after work, Kelsey gets into her Chevy Cruze and heads off to see Dante in Pueblo, 2 hours away. After Kelsey arrives, this seemingly happy love story ends, and a mystery begins.
The Schelling-Saxton family offering $100,000 this month to whoever can help bring Kelsey home.
After making that ride to Pueblo to see her boyfriend, Kelsey was never seen or heard from again. But an agent from the Colorado Bureau of Investigation has a very specific theory about what happened.
He believes Dante Lucas lured Kelsey down to Pueblo after finding out she was pregnant and murdered her by strangulation.
While they may have a theory, what investigators don't have is a lot of physical evidence.
Today, the defense said there is not a shred of physical evidence suggesting that Dante Lucas commit this murder or that Kelsey Schelling is in fact deceased.
The reason the defense says there is no evidence she is deceased is because Kelsey's body has never been found. There have been searches all around Pueblo, search teams on foot, on horseback. They even used heavy machinery to dig up the yard at Dante's former home. But still, to this day, Kelsey remains missing. So what evidence do they have? They have surveillance video of Kelsey's Chevy Cruze at the Walmart parking lot in Pueblo with Dante Lucas exiting the car. Then 18 hours later, another video of someone walking towards the Chevy and driving it away. But in both videos, no sign of Kelsey. They also have cell phone records.
And cell phone data showing both of their locations based on cell phone towers. It proved there was never a time when Lucas and Kelsey's phones were not overlapping in the same cell phone areas.
And what may be most compelling are the 4 hours where Dante's phone and Kelsey's phone both go silent.
How far could she have been driven away from Pueblo in a 4-hour period? That's always in the back of my mind as far as that quiet time where there was no cell phone activity, no pings being recorded. 4 hours is a long time.
Then there are text messages between Kelsey and Dante, and text messages between Dante and his mother a day after Kelsey went missing.
Lucas texted his mom saying, "I'm going to make sure she didn't leave anything in the house." His mother texts back asking if he's okay. He responds by telling her yes, and that he's 100% positive she's not pregnant. She then asks if Lucas is ready for a smoke and a pancake, to which he replies, "Hell yeah, LOL, let me get her out of here."
Like any case, there are two sides. Dante did speak with investigators. He said they were together that night, but Kelsey left him at the Walmart parking lot after they got into an argument. Dante also spoke with Dan Corsentino, former Pueblo sheriff, who works for Kelsey's family as a private investigator.
He actually broke down in my office and cried for a period of time, but we couldn't close that case out.
So there is no confession, but there is another suspect, at least according to the defense, who filed court documents indicating they may be pointing the finger at Kelsey's father, Douglas, who they claim has a history of being violent towards Kelsey, including going to her room and choking her. Ultimately, it'll be up to a Colorado jury to figure out who, if anyone, is responsible for the disappearance of Kelsey. In the meantime, her mother continues her search for justice and her search for the daughter she misses every day.
This is a circumstantial case. I mean, circumstantial evidence is fine. It's fine, but they haven't even recovered her remains. So there's a lot of pieces that have to be put together here by prosecutors at this trial. Let's bring in Liz Gilardi, great reporter from our affiliate, Denver 7. Liz, great to see you again. I want to look at one particular piece or part of the circumstantial case, which is some of this surveillance video that exists. And there's a series of videos. One of them's on February 5th involving an ATM. Let's show that to the folks at home. And can you describe for us the significance of this video?
Well, absolutely. I mean, keep in mind that Kelsey Schelling drove down to Pueblo on February 4th. So this would have been one day after she went to meet up Dante Lucas. And in that video, you see Lucas in Kelsey's car driving up to a Pueblo bank and using actually an ATM at that bank to withdraw $400, and that was using Kelsey's debit card. So that's just one piece of key evidence just several hours after anyone had last heard from her and after she was reported missing.
Okay, later that same day, I think around noon or so, at a Walmart in Pueblo, you've got the car seen at the Walmart parking lot. Explain to us what we're looking at here and the significance of this piece of video.
Well, that's actually the Walmart where Kelsey Schelling was supposed to meet up Dante Lucas the night of February 4th, and they had actually exchanged text messages saying that they were going to meet up at that Walmart. Kelsey showed up there, and then it sounds like they met up somewhere else, but at that Walmart, you can see Lucas walking up to the car, and the car was at that Walmart for a certain period of time before it was actually dropped off at a later date at a medical center. And this is all happening in order, but police actually recovered this car on the 7th of February, and they kind of retraced these steps, looked at surveillance video. That's how they uncovered all of this.
And it doesn't seem to coincide necessarily with the story that he told. And you mentioned that second video. This now is from February 6th from the same Walmart parking lot. And then there's someone in a dark hoodie, unidentified, can't tell who it is, who's walking up, who then drives that away. And as you said, so the car goes from the Walmart to a hospital?
It goes from the Walmart to a hospital, and Lucas actually told investigators that he dropped Schelling off at that hospital, but the hospital later said there's no record of her ever being there. But that's where police found this vehicle and started working their way back to put together that timeline all the way from February 4th to the 7th. But this car and that surveillance video, definitely a key piece of evidence.
Yeah, this has been, I think, a very frustrating case for investigators because they've never found her.
So frustrating for investigators, for the family. And, another thing, too, that people should be keeping in mind as we get closer to this trial is just how long it took to make an arrest. This past December marked 3 years that Dante Lucas has been arrested, but it took several years before he was ever arrested in this case as police were working to put together evidence because, as you said, no body. It just made this case that much more difficult.
Now, what's happening right now in Colorado in the court system? Are some judges, are they actually trying cases at this point, or are they in shutdown mode? Because we've seen a myriad of different approaches across the country.
Well, and Colorado actually just rolled back some restrictions yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I know a lot of this has been virtual, but what I've heard actually from some of the posts from Kelsey's family online and in talking with them, although jury selection will be taking place later this month, there are measures being put into place for social distancing and COVID precautions, and they do expect it's going to maybe take some additional time because you can only have so many people in a room, but there are safety measures being taken.
All right, Liz Gilardi from Denver 7, always great to speak with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.